Welcome back to another weekly showcase of progress at the Sharkstead. We've had a lot of growth with subscribers across all channels for the past 2 weeks. So if you are new to the channel, we really hope you enjoy the journey and watch myself and Anisha renovate a Bulgarian house on a budget. Now, let's get straight into it. I'm going to show you what we've been up to for the last 7 days. So follow me into the garden. Okay, so just a quick description of what we've done in our neighbour's plot. And if you've seen the previous episodes, you knew we discovered some strawberries as we cleared all the land and really tied it back for spring. So we managed to find some degraded hay and straw mulch from her barn, cleared it all out, and we got it just in time before the snow. And the problem is the weather is tricking the plants. They're coming up too early, which is actually a negative effect because we're still expected frost and we don't want things to die off before the right time. So the strawberries are mulched. They're currently under a bed of snow as well, so it's going to be quite boggy to show you that, but that sums up a couple of hours work over there. So now the real big progress over the last couple of days is taking down this other lean-to, which is our last outbuilding of the property. And like I said in last week, we're doing it not only to increase our growing space, but just get the garden back to a blank canvas. So we can design our own structures and do a really good garden design for the future. So we only just managed to finish putting the tiles on before the snow, which was really detrimental to protect the wall from deteriorating, especially in this up and down weather season. So if you come a bit closer, you can see we didn't get round to tidying it all before it all got wet and muddy. So these are some of the posts, columns, beams that we're actually going to chop and dry out for this winter coming of 2023. So there was over thousands of tiles that came off, and we've started to reuse and stack our stock up for further structures and just recycle materials really. Any broken ones have been used for hardcore in my dad's plot, on the driveway, things like that. So we even use the rubbish. So you can see there's a few things left to do. We've got some big footing boulders that supported the posts. They need to be dug out. And we've also started finding existing footing wall here. And you can see they're pretty big and they are sank quite a lot. So there's even stone that we're going to be able to recycle and use in our raised bed areas when the weather becomes a bit more nicer to work in. A few extra logs here. And as well as mulching the strawberries in our neighbour's plot, although we tried propagating our own over here just before the winter of 2022, we planted some garlic earlier on this year to try and help it with the weather, and they have bolted unfortunately. So we also mulched the garlics, and they're doing pretty well so far. They're maybe about 8 inches tall. So if we come close, we'll explain what kind of mulch level we're working with. So if you come down close, you can see the green sprouts coming out, and this is all we've done. It's just a nice dusting layer just to allow that to freeze and give the soil a bit more of insulation until it all becomes less volatile. Hopefully these are going to be surviving quite well. And you can see some of them. This one's yellow, and we believe that was due to the original cardboard bed we used as a weed suppressant. We think it just got trapped, so it still came through. So yeah, this was where our strawberries are planted, but I mean, they might as well have not have been. We've got like 2 or 3 that survived, so we didn't bother mulching or wasting any resources there. So the second garlic planter is over here. And you can see, with the winter weather, that side of the house, there's no shade and it's in direct sunshine. So those have almost doubled in size, unlike these ones. So these are only just poking through the mulch, still enough to determine which ones are where and protect what we can. In fingers crossed they'll still survive. And we've also been using the time when the weather has been cold and we've been locked inside to start propagating our seeds. And when we came over in July 2021 from the UK, we brought over hundreds of various different seeds, all off the internet, and just bought whatever we could And fortunately, some of them are still viable, and we've been using the water method to test a lot of them. So if the seeds sink, they're viable or has a good potential to sprout. And it's important to not grow in excess. If you're not going to eat it, don't grow it. So we've really been able to refine what we actually want to take control of. And even with the weather being like this, up and down, we've been still researching if we can get an extra growing window or the different growing zones of Bulgaria, which we've got loads of books that we brought with us. And it's also allowing us to learn like companion planting, which will benefit us when we come to actually design the garden. And where we're standing now, this will eventually be like a berries and fruits kind of area, hopefully with all a big bed of wood chipping mulch, something like that. And like I said, we're going to have the raised beds all the way over there and a food forest. So it's important to know that you're not just going to plant your seeds and have one or two things fighting against each other. So you need the abundance yield with less effort of work. That's the key. So pretty much sums up for the last 7 days. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Don't forget to look out for the compiled video footage of taking the outbuilding down, which will be live on Wednesday morning. So thanks again.